Hey, what's up guys, my name is Fox and welcome to another video of mine. Now in a different video I was talking about the most efficient alt classes and what makes them so efficient, but I didn't really touch on what alts exactly provide you in Lost Ark. This is what I will be doing in the upcoming video. We'll have a look at what alts actually give you and what makes them so good, and lastly how much gold an alt generates for you and how much real life money that translates into. Without further ado, let's jump into it. First, we're going to look at the materials that you can obtain from doing daily and weekly content that are also tradable in between your characters. For those of you that have played the game in the beta or on Russia or on any other server, might have noticed that not all the resources that you can obtain are actually tradable. So first, let's have a look at what you receive from daily or weekly content that actually is tradable. We're going to talk about what is guaranteed as drops and what you can sell or put into your shared storage. As a side note, shared storage is accessible by all of your characters. First up for daily resources are our Guardian Souls. You're able to collect 2 per day on every character. They drop the following materials: citrines, weapon crystals, and armor crystals. Next up we have our daily chaos dungeons, which you can run twice a day on every character. Yes, you can run them more often, but you receive different materials which we will not be taking into account for this video. So what you obtain from this is the following: weapon crystals, armor crystals, and jewels. Mind you, jewels are only introduced in tier 2, aka upwards from Yorn, and won't be available at the launch of NAEU. Furthermore, something you can run to generate income on your alts are the Sun Pass, aka Boss Rush. From the Sun Pass, you obtain a lot of jewels that you can trade over into your shared storage. Not to forget, weekly heroic or sync guardians also drop the same as weekly guardians with a tad more weapon crystals. Then we have the guild trader, which allows you to buy weapon crystals and armor crystals that are also tradable to other characters. And lastly, the weekly ship resources, which are also weapon and armor crystals. You can obtain these materials on every character in an either weekly or daily lockout and then transfer them over to a different character or sell them on the auction house. Every item that you can transfer over to a different character is also sellable. Now this was basically all that you can do with your alts in terms of material generation. It goes without saying that selling these materials is basically making gold. Yet we will not be taking materials into our gold calculation since it relies on other people buying them. And if no one buys them, there is no gold making. My suggestion is also that you keep the materials for yourself because you want to have an even distribution of materials versus gold in your account. The only reason to sell materials is if you have too many of them and not enough gold to use them. I myself already sold materials just to buy them back 2 weeks later or so. It's always better to hold on to your own generated materials because you just might use them. Please bear in mind that the gold value of what you do generally every day is quite significant. But now let's get to the juicy part, which is the most important part. Most of this is obviously not very relevant for the EUNA start, but will become relevant down the line since we will be reaching tier 3 probably after 6 to 9 months is my guess. So first we gotta take a look at all the instances that generate gold for you from the item level 1325 to item level 1475, which is the current minimum item level for the latest release clown rate. So let's have a look at everything that generates gold for you. First up, at 1325 and 1340, you have the 2 Uriah's Hard Void dungeons, generating 700 and 800 gold, which is a total of 1500 gold. Once you reach item level 1355, you get access to the hard mode versions, generating 200 additional gold compared to normal mode. At item level 1370, you get access to Argos Phase 1, which will generate an additional 1500 gold for you. The next stage is at 1385, where you get access to Argos Phase 2, which is an additional 800 gold. At 1400, you then finally can do all of Argos, which will give you 1000 gold on top of Phase 1 and Phase 2, equaling a total of 3300 gold from Argos. At 1415, you gain access to your first Legion raid, which is the Vault to Normal, but keep in mind that you also lose the gold from the Void dungeons. Vault to Normal will net you a total of 3300 gold. At gear score 1430, you then get access to Viak's Normal, which is an additional 3300 gold. Now for the upcoming item level, you get access to the hard mode versions of the Legion raids, giving you more gold, yet you can only do either normal or hard mode, not both. At 1445, you can then do Vault and hard mode, giving you 4,500 gold instead of 3,300 as normal would. At 1460, you can then do Viaki's hard mode, and she does the same, giving you an additional 1,200 gold compared to the normal mode. And as a side note, at 1475 you then get access to a clan raid, which is worth 4,500 gold. Yet you'll lose the gold income from the Argos raid, resulting in a net gain of 1,200 gold. So now you know every weekly gold income that is available per character. Based on that, we can now finally calculate how much each alt generates at a given item level. But before we do that, to put this into an actual perspective, let's see how much value gold has in terms of real life money, so you can understand how much this actually is. The current exchange rate from royal crystals to gold is at 80 to 1,200. Now, how much money is 80 royal crystals? 200 royal crystals in the shop, simply put, cost 200 rubles, which is the Russian currency. Which makes it super easy, since 1 ruble is 1 royal crystal. So 80 royal crystals are 80 rubles, and 80 rubles equal 0.96 euros or 1.08 American dollars. So basically 1,200 gold is worth 0.96 euros or 1.08 American dollars. Now let's keep that in mind. Please also note that this value only applies to the current state on the Russian servers and might be completely different on a different server. The current go-to park spots for alts, depending on what you want to do with them, are the following ones: 1340, 1370, 1415, 1430 and 1445. These spots are arguably the best in my opinion for several reasons, depending on your available playtime, if you have a guild, etc. Please take this with a grain of salt. The absolute best parking spot probably is 1415, since it generates you a massive amount of gold without investing too much. Now let's see how much gold each alt will generate you from pure gold generation. Please remember, this is not accounting for the daily or weekly materials that you can obtain. At 1340, you generate simply 1,500 gold per week from the 2 void dungeons. At 1370, you generate a total of 3,200 gold from hard mode void dungeons and Argos phase 1. At 1415, you generate 6,600 gold from Argos phase 3 and Vault and normal. At 1430, you generate 9,900 gold from Argos phase 3, Vault and normal and Biakis normal. And finally, at 1445, you generate 11,100 gold from Argos phase 3, Vault and hard and Biakis normal. But let's then also put this into perspective on how much real life money you actually generate. So based on our earlier calculations, our price was 0.96 euros per 1,200 gold, which equals to 0.08 euro per 100 gold. So here are the values for you. Please keep in mind this is your weekly income per alt and this value will change and changes all the time. This is the current situation on the Russian servers with the current prices for royal crystals. You cannot use this as a guaranteed value for the NAEU launch or even later down the road. As you can see, this is a pretty significant value as it definitely adds up. This is also why I always talk about making alts and why this game is, in my opinion, absolutely free to play if you invest your time properly. But this brings me to another point. How much time do you need for this? The problem with talking about time investment simply is that it depends a lot on the consistency of your parties. Some instances will take you simply 20 minutes, others might take you 2 hours, so it's really hard to really put a finger on the time invested. But this shouldn't be seen as a job in the first place. The goal is to have fun and enjoy yourself, and if that's not what you're doing, you might just be better off not playing this game, to be honest. To end this video, I will show you for a fun fact how much gold I generate personally per week. Keep in mind, I play this game daily for hours, stream it and whatnot. I probably average at least 8 or 10 hours per day, so it's like a job in terms of hours. Yet I obviously have a lot of fun doing this. I also would not suggest to you to make as many alts as I have. Reason I have them is so I was able to find classes I really enjoy and also try them out properly and make the in a nutshell videos for you guys. So let's look real quick at my characters, and yeah, I have way too many. So my gold income generation is at around 59.38 euros per week just from my alts. Again, bear in mind, I basically do this as a job at this point. And in general, keep in mind that playing video games is about having fun. I enjoy this, I have fun. This video's point was to show you how much value I generate by playing the game and how much value alts can generate for you. And why this game is simply free to play in my opinion. Sure, someone can swipe for 60 euros and basically the same I did in a week, but well, I didn't spend those 60 euros in the end and had fun doing my weekly and daily content. But that's a topic for a different video. I hope this video made it much clearer on the value that alts have. Again, this was without accounting for the generated materials that you can sell, legacy gold income like Eponas, and not considering my main character. The gold income is much higher if I account for everything that I make and can sell. Now on top of that, you need to keep in mind that it also costs you to push alts to a certain item level. They don't just generate this amount for free. You first have to invest gold and resources to then have a payback over time. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel so that I can continue doing what I love doing and provide you guys with information on Lost Ark that is hopefully also helpful to you. Wishing you a great day wherever you live.